Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it? You already know. Like a muck, smack at it. Bye up, bye up, bye. In a menudo style or direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate your support, man. We're going up on this channel, and it's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled. But even more so, I'm so appreciative, man. I know I couldn't do it without you. So I want to preface this video by saying my condolences and respect, utmost respect to Big Wicket's familia, his family. You know, when someone passes, no matter how they pass, you know, it's always going to affect somebody. It's always going to affect somebody. It's always a shock. Even if you see it coming, it's shocking. You know, I've had a lot of family members, friends, homeboys pass that I still can't get over to this day. You know, it's hard to show emotion because you continually think they're still there, waiting for that phone to ring. There's even points where I call and I still get their voice messages just to hear them. You know, I got an uncle that passed away a while back, and he did music videos, you know, on YouTube. And every time that I'm like, damn, you know, I think about him, I could always go back to his memories and watch the music videos. And I'm sure with Big Wicket's familia, him being such a presence on YouTube because of what he was doing before he passed, they could actually go back and see him. Sometimes it's hard and it leaves a bitter taste in the mouth. And sometimes it's actually good medicina. It's good medicine for the soul, right? So I just wanted to say my condolences to them. Now, Big Wicket from the Strength Cartel. You know, for those of you that don't know what the Strength Cartel is, it's actually a bodybuilding group, you know, that was formed a while back. And, you know, Big Boy is the face of the Strength Cartel. Big Boy from Orange County. And there's been a lot of controversy with that guy, you know, whether it be with some of the past guys that were part of his club, part of his group, or even other bodybuilders that feel some type of way. Now, I was never really intrigued by the bodybuilding community. I never really understood what was going on, but people adapt to different things. You know, it's good for a lot of people. It helps them build self-esteem, build their bodies. It's just kind of some people do it as a pastime. They get involved in it, and then boom, it blows up and it becomes and it encompasses their whole life. Now, that's one thing I've noticed about bodybuilders is they're very dedicated. You know, they're on a strict regimen, waking up, their diet, whatever they got going on. They're very dedicated people. You can't take that away from them. You know, bodybuilders have to be, they're on constant go, especially when it comes to maintaining, you know, what they want to look like. Because that's basically what the whole thing is built around, is your image, your persona, and what you got going on. So Big Boy started the Strength Cartel, and they blew up. I think social media played a big part in that. I think, you know, the stilo that they were rocking, you know, having a lot of Mexicanos and Chicanos that were actually at one point in time, you know, in prison, lived that gang lifestyle, just that image. And some of these guys may look the part, but they weren't really involved at that level in prison or incarceration, but they actually looked that part. They even went as far as having similar PIA state clothing involved or entrenched into their little club. So, I mean, it gave people, when you seen them, the absolute image of ex-convicts or gang members, but with a good twist, right? So for those on the outside looking in, the Strength Cartel looks like a bodybuilding club that don't fuck around, that don't play. Big Mexicans, in total contrast to what Wes Watson said about Mexicans that can't get big. These were Mexicans that were bigger than life, right? So Big Wicket was involved, you know, at a high level within the Strength Cartel. And, you know, the one thing I could say on the outside looking in about Big Wicket, you know, from Compton, was that he didn't just play a part or play a role. This was his lifestyle and his life. He looked the part, he was the part, okay? It seemed to me that him and Big Boy had a special type of relationship, a special type of friendship, you know, whereas maybe not necessarily just camaradas and homeboys, they were even business partners to a point. And, you know, when you thought Strength Cartel, you automatically think Big Boy. But Big Wicket, you know, started to ingrain himself into that higher level, whereas when you thought about Strength Cartel, you also thought about Big Wicket. You know, to me, from what I heard from other people, that he was probably one of the downest, if not most solid individual from that whole group. Now, of course, they got some good dudes from there, I'm sure. but he was one of the most outspoken, humbled, and real ones. You could just tell. You could tell those, especially when you've been incarcerated, those who don't fuck around are about the business, and those that are just trying to fake it to make it. He definitely had a good image in the calles, a good solid reputation, and was in the best of standings, you know. So that's just how it was when it came to Big Wicket. Now, unfortunately, Big Wicket has passed. This happened last week sometime. And when the news hit social media, people were shocked. There was a lot of people grieving and they tripped out, and there was a lot of rest in peace Big Wickets. I was doing a live. A lot of people said, hey, did you hear about Big Wicket? Did you hear about Wicket? And at first I was like, who? Wicket who? And then when they started showing pictures, I realized, wow, who it was. So I tapped in with a couple family members I have from the Compton area, as well as some homeboys that I fuck with from certain barrios out there. And there was a lot of stories going around. You know, the real true story to this day is almost not actually known. And I don't know if it was out of respect for the family, not wanting to put his business out there and wanting a little bit of respect. You know, usually when someone passes, that's a social media, you know, mogul, has a platform, or even a rapper or actor, you know, people are on it. You have people like TM fucking G or whatever, TMZ, that are on it, and they'll tell you every corner he bent, you know, his whole day previous to what happened to him. But there was a lot of rumors flying, okay? And this has become more of a mystery on how he passed away or why he passed away, more so than the fact that he just passed and, you know, let him rest. You know, so when I tapped into the people I tapped in with, who are, you know, solid as they come, you know, I was told that he was involved in a car accident in Wilmas, in Wimbledon, Harbor area. And, you know, to me, it wasn't a shock. People die in car crashes every day. And so I was like, wow, I actually did a short on it, expressing my condolences and in shock that this guy, you know, had suddenly passed like that, and how it was a big loss to the raza community, to the bodybuilding community, to the gente out there in Compton who respected him because he was a solid dude. And I was starting to get told, hey, you got misinformation. This is the wrong thing. This is not how he passed. Again, I reached out to a couple other people, and then I was told that he actually passed in a motorcycle accident. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe the person I tapped in with got it a little misconstrued or messed up. Because again, you know, I went directly to a couple reliable sources, and obviously, man, they didn't know in particular exactly what had happened. They assumed or thought they knew. So I took that post down out of respect for his family. And then I started to hear that Wicket's family didn't want people speaking on his name, or didn't really want people addressing the situation or what happened. They just wanted privacy to mourn, grieve. And I understand that. That's understandable and that's respectable. So I kind of took a step back, didn't do a video initially, let it all play out. One thing we knew for sure was Big Wicket was definitely gone, right? And that was unfortunate. And then I started to see other things happen. And that's the reason why I'm doing this video. Not only have I been asked to do the video by a lot of gente, but I thought I should touch on this because there's a big confliction in a lot of people's stories, and it's becoming more bigger than I thought it would ever be. You know, the circumstances surrounding his death, anybody's death, are always going to be circumstantial. There's always going to be people that are throwing stories out there. When it comes to him, we've heard car accidents. We've heard motorcycle accidents, which could be similar. And now what people are saying, they've actually confirmed, you know, according to some people, because his name matches the name on the approximate date that he was killed, that someone has been arrested in connection to his murder, and it was a shooting. Now, I don't know why this is all over the place. I don't know why someone can't just confirm it, actual, factual, boom, pura, this is what it is. He got shot. But they're saying that he actually got shot, and the guy who killed him, allegedly, you know, has been arrested for it. Now, again, I don't know exactly what happened. You know, usually when a person gets shot, it could be over, you had words, business fallouts, personal, gang related, you know, and people are automatically going to assume because of Wicket's look, because of his tattoos, because of his presence, that it was gang related or that there was an issue there. But at the end of the day, I don't think we'll ever know. There's only one person that knows, and that's actually the one person's gone and the other person that took his life. You know, it could have been something as simple as he was in traffic and it was road rage, or someone felt some type of way, or they just didn't like him for whatever reason, or jealousy or envy, or it could be something even more despicable than that, which is why I'm saying, I say that to say this. Big Boy, there's been some suspicious activity, or maybe it's just him and Big Boy, Wicket and Big Boy, weren't as close as people thought they were. When you're running a business, and which I don't know the exact numbers on the Strength Cartel, but I would consider it to be a pretty lucrative business. I mean, I see these guys traveling all over America, sometimes out of the country, doing these bodybuilding contests. And I understand, in order to have your own gym, in order to have your own clothing line, in order to do all this, it takes money. It takes money to make money. That's a fact. People are always asking me, Gun, when are you going to come out with merch? Gun, when are you going to do this? When are you going to animate the Super Norteño series or this and that? And it takes money. It takes a lot of money. Something I don't necessarily have because of my lifestyle, because of my family, and how I help out those around me. I don't really have it like that. But I strive to one day be there. Big Boy, I believe, was there. They had a booming clothing company. I own a couple Strength of Cartel articles of clothing, right? So I've contributed to that pot personally. These guys had a gym, a place to work out of. I could say there was money being generated. Social media was looking nice. Everything was looking nice. And albeit it is expensive to travel and do all that, there was enough money to go around from what I seen. That's now, again, I don't know his personal finances. That's just fucking, my take on it. When he passed, Big Boy did a couple videos expressing his condolences, actually did great views on the videos. And of course he would. If anyone's going to know what happened to Wicket, it's going to be Big Boy. Wasn't that his camarada? Wasn't that his taita, the vato he was with every day, his business partner, who he functioned with? If anyone could tell you what happened, it's going to be him, Keno. But again, he was being very private, when people would ask him questions, he would steer this conversation in a different manner, a different way. Now, that only happens for two reasons. One, because that vato respects that vato's name and his family and wants to do right by them. Or two, it's because he knows something he shouldn't know, man, and he's being very, he's avoiding conflict and confrontation. Now, there's always going to be conspiracy theorists. There's always going to be. Doesn't matter what happens. I could die. I could have a heart attack on screen right now, and they're going to say I was poisoned. It doesn't matter what it is in life. There's always those that don't believe what's right in front of them. Okay? I'm not one of them. The type of individual I am, I've always took people for their word, and I respect their word. And if someone tells me something, especially someone I respect or I look at as a solid individual, hey, I'm going to take it as 10-5 a key, as pura. Hey, Holmes, the homeboy died like this. Damn, is that right? Spencer, it's fucked up, right? And then keep it pushing. But when I'm hearing a whole bunch of individuals and nobody really knows why, what is going on here? What's the mystery? Why don't we know already exactly what happened? Now, in the past few days, I've seen several videos of people saying it's actually stamped, right there. It's in concrete. It's etched in stone. He got shot. How do you go from a car accident to getting shot? That's two whole different genres of shit. Okay? Did he get shot in the midst of a road rage car accident? Could that be the case? Is that why people got it mixed up? I don't know. Anyways, Big Boy did his videos, and his videos seemed a little mysterious to me because he wasn't saying much. Now, there was a GoFundMe that was started. I don't know the finances of these guys that you see on social media. People assume I got a lot of money. They assume because of, maybe the way I look or the way I dress, that I should have enough money to bury myself or at least, to take care of my business. And that's not the case at all points in times. I live paycheck to paycheck. I work and do YouTube. So, the struggle is absolutely real. So again, I don't know exactly Wicket's finances, but I know that, allegedly the group he was affiliated with should have enough money, or an insurance policy to bury their loved ones. You would think, right? Or to at least assist in the burial. But immediately a GoFundMe was started. Okay? There's been a couple of these in the last few months. Now, I've seen where people get injured or hurt or even passed away, or they're fighting a terminal disease, a pre-existing condition, and they put up GoFundMes to assist, You know, to let, and that's a humbling experience too. That's basically letting the world, hey, we don't have enough finances to bury him or to help his children or to help his family, you know, in something that happened just out of the blue. We need the assistance or the help of the community, people that had love and respect. And there's a lot of people that would kick in, you know, because they respect them. That's natural. That's understandable. Some people get more than others. It's unfortunate that that's the way it is. But, you know, how they prioritize in their life who deserves it more is how they do. I know Dubs the other day did one, you know, his dog's eye popped out of his head. And there was a lot of people that respected that understood that. And, you know, they helped. And believe me, that assistance was greatly appreciated and acknowledged. I know because I was on the phone having conversations where he couldn't believe the love and the show of support he got from the community, right? So it was definitely appreciated. And I'm sure anyone that sent anything to Big Wicket's family or to that, you know, that GoFundMe was appreciative as well. But here's the trip on that, right? If you're part of something where they're generating a lot of money and you're at the hierarchy of it, you're, you know, on that level, wouldn't you guys think, and I know Big Boy got a lot of distress and a lot of hate for it, wouldn't you think that Big Boy would have just said, Charlie Holmes, we're not going to do a GoFundMe. I got this covered like a state blanket, itchy but warm. I'm going to take care of the homeboy's his financial shit. I got him. No doubt about it. That's my homeboy. He was one of the faces of the straight cartel. He brought a lot of notoriety. He brought a lot of sizzle to it. You know, he brought a lot of a solidness. A lot of people that respected him that necessarily probably wouldn't have fucked with Big Boy. But because who Wicked was and where he was from, you know, decided to get on that train and support, then, you know, you give back to your homeboys. You look out. Now, albeit some people don't got it like that. Again, I'm assuming that Big Boy has money like that. Maybe he doesn't. I seen that he kicked in $500 on the GoFundMe. $500, right? There was another GoFundMe started. I don't want to name the individuals, but someone had been shot in the YouTube community a few weeks back, and a GoFundMe was started immediately. It's like, bro, if your homie gets shot or stabbed or hurt, you know, immediately you should be the first one with that $2,500, $3,000 kick. Boom. That's my homie. I got him, right? Maybe you can't pay for everything. Shit's expensive nowadays, but that big kick would be nice. You know, it's pretty weird when other people's donations are bigger than the closest homeboys. You know what I mean? It just be like that sometimes. I don't know. That in itself has led to mystery. That has led to people, all these conspiracy theorists say, well, maybe Big Boy was involved in this. Maybe there was conflict. Maybe there was an argument. Maybe he didn't really like him as much as he acted like he liked him. I don't think that's the case. Okay, conspiracy theories get people caught up because people can't stop running their fucking necks. The truth of the matter is, no matter how Big Wicket died, man, he's gone. You know, and it's an unfortunate thing. And, you know, whether that, you know, GoFundMe was started in haste, and we don't know the whole get down with the GoFundMe as far as if it was started for funeral expenses or to help his family. You know, things happen and your family depends on you. My family depends on me. You know, if I was to go tomorrow, it's going to turn worlds upside down because I make myself financially responsible to my kids, to my baby's mamas, to my family in general. They depend on me because I've took that burden. And it's not even a burden. It's just I've took that responsibility as a grown man. I think that's what we do. We look out for our family first and foremost, us and ours, and then everything else comes after, right? And I think Wicked was the bread earner of his family. Now, at the end of the day, you know, call it what you want. You know, people have always had a bitter taste or a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to Big Boy. And they thought that GoFundMe was a bad look. Do I think it was? Personally, it was a little different. You know, if you're coming from a multi-million-dollar or even, you know, a 6-digit company that this guy was actually one of the faces of, he should have been taken care of. You should have already been prepared for anything, especially when you have a certain image. Anything gang related, you know, gangster rappers, people that are really trapping out there in the streets. If you've got that image, if you're living off the backbone of that gangster image, which sells, drama, the gangster image, all that sells. This right here sells. This look, the Lakers looking like the old school Kings hat, this sells. When you portray this image, you got to understand there's repercussions and things that come with that image. There's people that trip off the way you dress, off the tattoos, off the way you look, man. So your life is a little bit more at, I would say, a disadvantage than others because you're putting yourself in a situation or an area that's more dangerous. You know, if I was just dressed in some Wranglers, regular cowboy boots and a fucking golf hat, no one's even going to look at me walking down the street. They might look at me because of my tattoos, but I'm just saying, let's take, for instance, I'm blending in. I'm just another regular old dude walking down the street. But if I got, you know, a black and gray, a Raiders hat or a Lakers hat, Cortez's on, Ben Davis's, guess what's going to happen? Two things. I'm going to be a target for law enforcement. What is this gang member up to, right? And also other people might feel intimidated or, you know, perplexed to see me walking down the street like that. And it could just lead or escalate into some conflict and ultimately to me getting unalived or someone else. That's how it is. You know, all based off the way I look, dress, shaved, smell, whatever. Someone could be envious or feel some type of way. Now, when you're portraying or living off the backbone of that image, which the Strength Cartel kind of is, by dressing in the prison blues, by, you know, using the Old English font and different things like that, they're looking like the gangster role and the gangster image, and that could cause conflict. Now, how Big Wicket lost his life, if that was due to that, I don't know. Could have been personal, but like I said, I've heard he was a humble dude, a good dude, solid. So I don't know how much enemies he had. And again, man, you do things in life and your past catches up to you. It's called karma, and it's just the energy of the world, the way it works. Do I think this mystery surrounding his death and how he really died, do I think it's kind of weird? Abso-fucking-lutely. You know, but that's the way it goes. Sometimes when your persona or who you are, you know, there's always going to be a little mystery in the air. You know, now I seen Big Boy has capitalized off the videos that he has done with Wicked. So, and me being a YouTuber, a content creator, I know the finances and what goes on and once you're monetized and all that. You know, I would think that those videos that he's done, he would dedicate all that feria that he makes to the familia. And again, he might be. We don't know. You know, but someone of his stature and what he gets down, you would think he would announce that, like, everything that I'm making, or we're going to do a weightlifting tournament, or we're going to do this or that. We're going to dedicate all the funds to Big Wicket, to his familia, you know, because he was the homie. He did a lot for us. So we're going to give back. I haven't heard nothing like that. And maybe it's upcoming. He just passed. You know, before people jump on Big Boy and start fucking, hey, Holmes, you were involved. Maybe it was a business deal gone wrong and all this conspiracy theory shit. Maybe people should relax and give the vato a chance to grieve. That was his homeboy too. You know, he did, you know, a lot of business with them. They functioned together. He might be in shock. He might not be thinking business-like right now. You know, so people got to respect the familia and respect everything. Again, man, I wanted to send, you know, an apology because I put out that short and I was under the assumption from who it came from. That's exactly how he passed away. Now I'm realizing I was just fueling that fire. You know, I wasn't leading by example. And it wasn't that I didn't do my homework. You know, from who it came from somebody in Compton, I assumed. And maybe they got their information, you know, handed to them wrong. And it's all good. I ain't mad at them. Shit happens. But I just think it's weird how no one truly knows the exact cause of death. You know, I watched another channel, man. I forget the guy's name. And he just did a video on it. He's not Mexicano. He's a white man from a whole different type of genre. But he chose to speak upon this because he's kind of feeling and looking at it the same way I am. Why? Why so much air of mystery surrounding this? You know, why when it comes to the minority community, the raza, the blacks, the Asians, the Usos, the Native Americans, why when it comes to our gente, it's just never cut and dry. It's never, hey, Holmes, the vato got shot. Is it to cover shit up? Or is this now the propaganda being spread to make the Mexican community look worse, the Chicano community, right? What can be something as simple as a car accident, shit happens, whether he was drunk or not, or inebriated, high, whatever, shit happens, right? I'm cool, man. Damn, he passed. That's fucked up, right? Let's keep it pushing in his memory. But sometimes I think the powers that may be behind the scenes tend to make things look worse because it makes the image and it makes the community more distrust the image that people are portraying or our culture. You know, our culture is a beautiful culture, black, brown, you know, it's all a beautiful culture. But it's tainted by certain things, you know. You see the Chicano community, damn, it's a beautiful culture, but they got tattoos and they're all been in prison. I know a gang of homeboys I got, that are fully sleeved head to the toe ain't never been in prison. Just because you're in prison, tattoos in prison are synonymous with each other, but that doesn't mean that you have to have been in prison to get tattoos. Sometimes people are just in touch with their culture, and tattoos have been around for centuries when it comes to our head. The same thing with the brothers, man. People see a brother, man, oh, he's sagging a little bit, he must be a gang member. No, that's part of the culture. After so many decades of this happening, it just becomes a natural thing. I see a person sagging, a brother, man, I don't automatically think, oh, he's a gang member, he's been in prison. I just said that brother's sagging, and I keep it pushing. I think in everything, people are prejudging and they're judging constantly. And as a society, we don't need to do that. We just need to keep it real, man, and respect everyone's privacy and what they got going on. My condolences again in respect to Big Wicket. I'm going to leave this one right here, but I'll say this. I guess more will unfold and we'll find out. But the word on the curb is that he was shot and the guy that shot him was arrested. Again, I've heard so many different stories. I don't know fucking what to believe. Maybe you can leave a comment and give me the true rundown of what you heard or what you know. No hearsay, no he said, she said, but the pura. Because I believe the people that supported him in the past, again, remember, I bought a hat, I bought a shirt. I believe that we deserve to know exactly how he passed. Not that it affects our daily lives, but it's good for the mind, body, and soul, man, to know exactly and to let this guy rest truly. Now, as far as going in on Big Boy and all that, I guess we'll find out exactly what led up to this. With that being said, I hope that you, rest in peace, Big Wicket. I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, no matter if Wicket's here or he's up there, that vault is still on swole and he's getting his curl on, homes. This is the gun. Bang, bang.